Anyone that is a genuine fan of Nick Fuentes is very likely a Jew hater. Let's just be honest. Nick Fuentes is right on one issue, and that is that Israel is committing a genocide. But anyone with two eyes can see that. It doesn't take a genius to figure that out. They're perpetrating a genocide in 4K in both the colloquial and legal definition of the word. But this person right here that we're looking at, this Australian bimbo, is going to be doing some Nick Fuentes apologia.
About him is he does actually make astute points about the way that our government has been hijacked by Israel. He says a lot of things that are BS. He also makes good points. And one thing that I want to just offer out there is I think that this is a man who is incredibly jaded, who he feels like he had his life ripped from him for voicing genuine opinions in the beginning. And then when the exact people who he was trying to not speak about those people, but speak about the agenda in general, when the people involved in that agenda double down to destroy his life, to deplatform him, to debank him, to do all of these things, I would have a little chip on my shoulder as well. It doesn't justify it.
Yeah, Amy, I'm curious.
Understand what you did right there. This would be like somebody saying that I hate all black people and black people are inferior. And in response to that, you say, well, a lot of black people beat this person up when they were growing up. That person was bullied by black people. And if I were in their shoes, I would hate black people as well. But that's not a justification for their black hate. The previous statement that you made was the justification for the hate. Again, there's no justification for what Nick Fuentes is doing, what Nick Fuentes is spewing. And I will pull up one clip of Nick Fuentes calling for the death penalty for all non-Christian enemies, Jews, and people that are adversarial to Donald Trump. This is who he is.
The lies and the destruction on the country, they are evildoers. They are people that worship false gods. They are people that practice magic or rituals or whatever. And more than anything, those people need to be, when we take power, they need to be given the death penalty. Straight up. And I'm far more concerned about that than I am about even non-white people or mass migration. These people that are communing with demons and engaging in this sort of witchcraft and stuff, and these people that are suppressing the name Christ and suppressing Christianity, they must be absolutely annihilated when we take power. This is God's country. This is Jesus' country. This is not the domain of atheists or devil worshippers or perfidious Jews. This is Christ's country.
And this is just one clip. There are tons out there like it. But here, this is what First Take is trying to do. They are trying to justify people vilifying Jews. They're trying to justify the JQ. Nick Fuentes just mentioned that Jews are a bigger problem than non-white people. So clearly he's a bigot and a racist. Go ahead.
You mentioned all these things. How does he make a living? Who is funding this?
So he has his own, he was doing some stuff on Cozy TV. He was recently reinstated on X by Elon Musk. He also has a Rumble account. So he makes money through his content, but just not through the typical channels. He's banned on YouTube. He's banned on all of these various
So look,
things.
Amy, I hear what you're saying, because in the middle of some pretty reprehensible, disgusting stuff that he says about Jewish people, which I do not agree with at all.
Correct.
You know, he makes commentary that I do agree with and is actually spot on in regard to foreign influence of our politics.
Nobody does this for David Duke. No one says David Duke says some reprehensible things, but he has some good points about certain things. If you're a bigot, especially a self-avowed bigot, which both Nick Fuentes and David Duke are, then who cares if you got a single issue right? If you are a scientist and you are making a claim about neuroscience, but in the same breath you say 1 + 1 = 3, then I don't care about how valid your point is about neuroscience, because you're off on the basics. If you can't even get the basics right, then this is indicative of how wrong your thought process is about everything else. How you got to an answer matters. And if you can't even get the basics correct, then I can't trust the rest of your process. And that's what Anna Kasparian refuses to admit about her Republican friends, that they may be right on some brain dead things like Israel. Like, again, anybody can see that Israel is committing a genocide. This isn't some galaxy brain take. But how they got to that point was incorrect. And how they're getting to that point is the same way they're getting to all the wrong points that they have.
However, the good points, in my view, get muddled through hateful rhetoric. And for me, it's really, really important to draw a distinction. Because there is no problem with Jewish people at all, period. When we're being critical of Israel, we're being critical of a political
government,
ideology
yes.
of the government. And I don't want that to be conflated with hatred toward Jewish people.
Definitely, it definitely is, though. And that's why people have to be so careful with that
That's what I'm
narrative.
saying. You do have to be careful.
And that's
Yes.
happening. I'm still kicking over the fact that the guy used the N-word. Is there...
Yeah.
Did he actually say this? Or was
Many times,
Literally?
many,
Just casually?
many
And, like, what
times.
context?
I mean,
I've
just
seen it in
recently.
Kanye songs,
I
or
mean,
calling
okay,
someone
so one of his black supporters wrote and said, "Hey, brother Nick, like blah blah blah," and then he started saying, "Sorry, PBD, I have to say it. I'm the real N-word. Someone needs to show these people."
Someone needs to show these people. So here's how Nick Fuentes feels about black people.
And I will tell you this as plainly as possible. I don't want to live around black people. I just don't. It would be irresponsible if I had a wife and kids to live near black people.
So these guys are trying to make it seem like Nick Fuentes said the N-word, repeating it in a song or something like that. Understand what is happening here. Her take is trying to sanitize a self-avowed anti-Semite and a clear racist. Look up any quotes from Nick Fuentes about anything he has to say about non-white people, and 9 times out of 10 it will be bigoted and racist. They're trying to make it seem like Nick Fuentes is just a white person that just says the N-word from songs, or jokes around saying I'm the real N-word, and not the vapid racist that he is, as you can see in the other clip. But that's it for this video. Her take continued to be irredeemable. They're now engaging in apologia for a racist and anti-Semite. And Anna Kasparian, this is the bed that you made for yourself.